next up, a lot of kids asked about challenges.
Okay.
Clearly, we're in a difficult time, and I think we're looking for a little bit of inspiration. So we have people asking, we have students asking, um, have you ever had regrets about, not speaking up about injustice, remaining silent? Have you ever faced challenges you feel where you consider quitting? Do you ever think this is impossible? How do you handle when people actively oppose you? I think are some of the heaviest questions we got. So if you want to take a shot at those.
No, these are all good questions. I'll start with the first one. Have you ever remained silent about injustice and later realized that you should have spoken up? And my answer to that is no, because one of the things I've often remembered is that, you know, when bad things are done by bad people, that's bad. But what's even worse than that is when you have good people that realize these things are bad and they remain silent and they do nothing. Because being silent about it, it gives the authorization that it's okay to continue to do these things. So we must speak out regardless of what the price might be. And we have to, when you understand your history, you realize that a lot of people have sacrificed a lot for us all to be where we are today. And we have to continue to do that, you know. And, you know, if we don't speak out, nothing will happen. The next question where it says, have you ever faced a challenge so difficult that you considered quitting? The answer to that is no. Do you ever feel like equality is impossible? The answer to that question is no. Uh, who makes up your support system and helps you keep going when you feel discouraged? Again, it's my family. Most importantly, it's God, it's my community, it's my church, it's my mentors, you know, and the various people that I meet along life. Because I think overall, there are more good people in this world than there are bad people. We just got to get together and make sure that we speak up for what's right. And we can see, even here in 2021, that there's been some things that have happened that shouldn't have happened, but progress is continuously being made. But progress comes at a price, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that someone has to get killed, okay? But we have to continue, you know, moving the needle forward. And I think a lot of people are doing that, especially with the teachers, especially with the professors, especially with the nonprofit organizations, the churches, a lot of the civil engagement organizations. So people are very concerned about this issue and trying to make things better. And as a result, we've seen things get better. It may have taken a long time, but that's how progress is. Like we wind up having the first Black president. Okay, now we got the first Black female president. Okay, so progress is ongoing. We have to always remember we have to always be willing to move onward and forward. The next question is, how do you handle individuals or groups who actively oppose your beliefs? Well, you know, when that happens, I think we need to collaborate more. And the way I look at something that I try to make sure I understand why a person is opposing what it is I'm doing. And I try to make sure that what I'm doing is going to be in the interest of everybody. Okay. And if for some reason a person can show me that I may not have considered this, or I may need to include this, I'm always open. I think we always have to be open, you know, to dialogue and to input, and also including people, because I believe the more people we can include, the better our response is going to be to whatever issue we're dealing with. And that's the beauty of collaboration. Do you ever get hate mail or have people interfere with your work? Um, I've never received hate mail, but I've had people try to interfere with my work. People trying to make disparaging remarks about either myself or my work, or people trying to make me the scapegoat in some of the, you know, $1 million contracts that we were trying to negotiate while I was working with Xerox. And that's just because you have people that are just, you know, somehow misled, misguided, does not realize that this world is big enough for all of us to be successful. But you got to remember that hate is not an innate thing. Hate is something that's taught. Okay, a lot of people don't like to acknowledge that, but it's not an innate thing. You're not born being, with hate. Somebody has to sow that in you, and sometimes we have to work with people to get them to realize that, and to get them to see that you don't want to be like that, because when you do, you're not only making it for the person that you're trying to oppress, and first of all, nobody should be oppressed. Okay, and I think if it was put on the other shoe, they wouldn't like that. Okay, and we have to realize that we live in a world with democracy. Okay, and the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, are designed. Initially, when it was designed, it did not include everybody, but as a result of people working together, it now includes everybody. And that's why I'm optimistic that things are going to get better. And each time we make progress, you're going to always have somebody that's going to try to come along and try to undo what's been done. But as long as we continue to work together, I think we'll be able to prevent that. I think the next question was, what sacrifices have you made in order to help others? I alluded to that earlier when I helped this young lady get her job back, and I was blackballed and demoted. That was a heavy price that I had to pay. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do the same thing, because, I had went through that. When I had gotten out of college, I had gotten a job at a bank as a loan officer. I couldn't even get through the training program before I was fired. And while I was going through the training program, there was nobody that looked like me that was in it. There was nobody that looked like me that worked at the bank. And I was treated very unfairly. And it's a horrible, horrible experience, okay, when you're not given the same opportunities to at least get through the training program to determine whether or not you're going to be successful or not. But when you have people that have so much hate that they don't want you there, you may not be able to change that situation. And I wasn't, but I said, you know what, having gone through that, I don't ever want to see anybody go through that.
You're just so positive. I love it. You draw so much strength from all of your experiences. It's just so inspirational.